Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore. Going to put a nice little bow on science endings. Not really, because the nice little bow will come when we get the salvation end. But for now, we're going to put a nice little bow and a skull and crossbones and a poison warning. We're all gonna die on the tragic ends. So, well, technically we got the tragic end in the last part. We're gonna get the, let's see, we've got a dead end that we're gonna do right now called Colorless Voice. And then we're gonna get our despair end after this. So, probably going to be a short part because I would imagine us choosing to put these few books on the bookshelf is going to get us murdered real fast somehow. Don't know how, but we're going to die fast. And then, so it could be like a 10-minute part. It could be like a 30-minute part. I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to put our books on the bookshelf. This is when we first got in to be his maid. The very beginning, and we saw the books, and it was like, let's put them on the shelf. And okay, here we go, dying. Oh, that was wrong. He's not going to be able to find the books he needs if they're left like this. I should probably organize them alphabetically according to title. I mean, I can't see why that'd be a problem, but I think that should do it, but they were probably organized a certain way, and now we unorganize them and put them in a new organizational way, which is bad. I'm sure this will make it much easier for Cyan to find the bookie. What are you doing? Cyan, you're back already? I'm sorry, I'm still cleaning the... Get out! Huh? Before I could react, Cyan reached out to me and... He tossed me out of the room. Cyan, did I do something wrong? I told you. I only want the bare minimum done. Don't just do whatever you like. Who told you to organize the books on my bookshelf? I went pale as he explained why he was mad. I gathered everything about genetic disorders and ordered them according to the case studies. Now I need to reorganize them. See, he has emotions because he's pissed. I'm so sorry. I thought they were just misplaced, so Cyan didn't even let out a sigh, hearing me make excuses. I hate this choice right now. I hate the fact that he is mad at me. I don't like this. This is worse than the tragic ending. At least in the tragic ending, he loved me and I was in his head. Now he's just going to kick me out and I'm going to be homeless and alone. I'm going to have to go back to the orphanage. It's so cold here. I suppose I was wrong to think you'd be obedient. Uh-oh. Fuck. Great. I can't have you make a mess of my room anymore. I'll waive the cost of the bracelet, so get out of here, now. But if I listened to him, I wouldn't be able to learn any new information about the deaths. Didn't you hear me? I said leave. Now. Understood. Very sorry for going beyond what was necessary. His voice had no anger or hatred. My tablet just blue screen. That's why I said uh-oh about like a minute ago. Because it like went dark and I was like, oh, let me open it. And then I was pushing the button and it was like, blue screen. I'm like, fuck. It's coming back. It'll be fine. But that means I'm going to have to find my guides again. Anyway. His voice had no anger or hatred. It was colorless, as if he lost whatever interest he had in me when I let him down. Oh. Just stand like this with you looking at me like that. It'll be enough for me. It was far worse than being hated. I set down the entrance pass and quietly left the facility. Oh, this is worse than dying. My shoulders slumped as I trudged away. I would have rather him stabbed us for rearranging our books. At least he would have given us some emotion and, I wouldn't have to, no, he disdains us now. I gazed at the waterway, wondering what I should say to Adolphe about how I was thrown out so quickly. I touched his books and he got mad. Adolphe would be like, yeah. Before long, the moon rose in the sky. And now I can't get my tablet to, like, turn on. Jesus Christ. Just as I passed by one of the alleys, I heard gushing, then dripping. Huh? It sounded eerily similar to that sticky sound I heard back then. Like, the screen's not coming back on now that it rebooted itself. I don't know what's happening. My throat suddenly went dry. I'm just imagining things, right? It's like the screen will flick, and it's like it's working, but it's not. The screen's not working now. That makes me sad. I've had this thing for, like... I'm hitting the Windows screen, but it's not like... I don't know what's happening to it. Like, I tried to, like, hit the power button to, like, reboot it. And it flashes. But it's, like, not, like, the screen... It's like the screen doesn't work suddenly. Well, that's disappointing. I've had this thing for, like, 10 years. Okay. Maybe I just rebooted it. Wanting to deny what came to mind, I went into the alley. Okay. The sight beyond me betrayed my hopes. At the center of the blood were two bodies slumped over each other with their chests unnaturally clawed out. Did they die just as I happened to pass by? I managed to stifle a scream, stepping back to call for Adolphe and the others, but... More bodies? I thought Boro was the killer! Oh, and now it's updating. Great. Good times. I turned around to see... You're that death girl from the orphanage! One of the men who came to the orphanage that day to try and get me to leave the place was standing behind me with shaking legs. Oh no. It was too late for me to run. The man bent down to pick up a brick from the ground. So this was your doing all along! You cursed them to death and tried to pin the blame on Boro, didn't you? You got this all... How dare you fool us! Go back to hell, Death! My vision blurred as I heard a dull sound from my skull. I fell to the ground as the man looked down at me, breathing heavily with a bloodied brick in hand. I tried to speak, but to no avail. I didn't know why he looked so afraid of my breathing. You! As long as you're alive, we can't live in peace even as relivers! He literally just crashed our skull in, didn't he? Yep, that sounds painful. Die! Die, body and soul! This took a turn. I mean, I thought we were going to die in this route, but not this way. You alone have no right to live in this country! I didn't feel pain anymore. I could only tell I was being hit repeatedly. That crunching noise is god-awful, though. This is worse than the tragic end, because that crunching noise is like, oh, God! Perhaps my head was no longer in a human form by now. Uncle said before that I wasn't the cause of the tragedy. These things can't happen by coincidence so often. If so, then he was just trying to cheer me up. This misfortune is something I really called upon myself. My consciousness was replaced by self-loathing and despair. I could have become a normal human. I could have been of help to someone. What a fool I was to even think that way. The blood-covered brick struck again to bring death to justice for her many crimes. I scoffed at the appalling end I met before my consciousness completely faded. I expected to die, but I didn't expect, necessarily that. Let's see, let's go back down. My tablet is still trying to reboot over here, so we might have to pull up the guide on my computer. This one. Oh, look at that, it just finished, so let me, okay, hold on. Let me bring up my, web pages. I'm assuming we say I felt scared. It felt sacred, sorry. I'm like, I felt scared. Look, I looked at it too quick. All right, hold on. This is going to take forever for my guide to open up, so let me go over to my computer. Okay. Let me open up over here. Okay. Oops. There we go. Oh, sure. Now you open up. Which one's going to open faster, do you think? I got one on the left, one on the right. Hold on, they're both open. It's like a race to see which one opens faster. Like, restore pages. Yes, restore my pages. Thank you. Okay, there we go. My tablet's open. Okay. Oh, well, never mind. It's opening. Okay. Let's say file 2. It felt sacred. Okay. There you go. It was like watching a sacred ritual. I couldn't take my eyes off the process. The most who witnessed the process say the same. Cernival is like a different world compared to the other districts. To be honest, I'm not even sure how the street lamps work either. It's called a candle, and there's a man who goes up and lights it with fire, and then in the morning they put them out. Like, it's not complicated. I'm assuming there's not electric. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming they're electric, but it would have been fucking funnier for him to be like, "Are you an idiot?" It's powered by electricity. I know, it's not electricity exactly. It's a bother to explain, but let's say that life in Coen is more otherworldly to me. I suppose so. He's like, you literally put candles instead of, you don't just flip a switch. Where's your light switch? Where's your microwave? You don't even have puzzles, for God's sakes. What kind of heathens are you? I heard a few employees clear their throats to remind us of their presence. Okay. And now we go on. And now we're here. We get to stare at Cyan for so much longer. Oh. Oh. And here's Dot. Died and then disappeared. I kind of feel bad. I think I feel bad about that in the tragic ending that Dahut was like, anyway, I'm gonna peace out forever. Like, it's not your fault that you became the director. Like, there was nothing you could do to stand up for Cyan. You know what I mean? Like, knowing that the royals were coming in. Like, but to be fair, that's also what kind of makes it tragic, just in general, because then Dahut just pieced out and disappeared, which is sad. Cyan concluded his research, so it's kind of like sad for Dahut because he's like, everything I was working for, you figured out in like 5 fucking minutes, and what the shit. And then also Dahut leaving is like tragic for Cyan because Cyan needed that support and that person that was kind of like his friend. You know what I mean? Especially with us dying and now he has emotions and like now he's literally alone with the crazy voice in his head, me, you know, and like at least Dahut could have kept him a little more grounded and been like, okay, you need to, like, I know you're talking to her in your head, but like, buddy, like, you know, and like now there's no one kind of to keep him in check and like keep him tethered to reality. So you need to be as honest as possible. I don't know. Right, because he was asking us about his lab experiments, right? I don't know. I simply came here because I was worried about you, Cyan. Which is why I still don't really have an answer to what I saw back then. I see. Okay. And then... Oh, right. Now we're going to get to our last choice where it's like, I look up to you, and it's like, you're my mom's friend! Worst answer ever, considering the fact that you're not friends. Look, Adolphe was still alive here. Oh, look, his head is still attached to his body. My poor baby. Poor Adolphe doesn't deserve all this. He does feel like a side character in, like, the entire game, poor thing. And you have to share your route with Anko, which is, I mean, I just... Listen, if you're not the same person somehow, then you sharing a route is kind of sad, unless it's like, okay, it's because you're all tied together somehow, and then you get the split, you know? As opposed to here you're spending more time with, just with Cyan. You know what I mean? If they did it like, oh, we're spending time with the, and blah, 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 back and forth with the two of them, and then there's a split with one ending and the other. I would hope that's what they're going to do anyway, regardless of how it plays out with Anko and Adolphe, that, like, you can get an ending with Adolphe and you get an ending with Anko, because otherwise it's weird. You know? Anyway, your mother's friend! Dead. Your mother's friend! So I thought Mother might be saddened if something happened to you. Huh. His told me he was upset by my response. That's not all, of course. I thought I might be able to help my country in some small way by helping you. But that said, I guess the main reason is that you ordered me to work for you, and it's an honor to be your mate, so I don't want to leave you alone. I couldn't explain exactly what led me to think in such a way. The only thing I knew was... seeing him do that puzzle made me love him. Yeah. Oh. Oh God, pin me to the wall harder. No, don't go, no, come back, go back. You know, if he was anybody else, he would have actually kissed you, but it's science, so. And tell me you're in love with me. Okay, I'm in love with you. Are you gonna kiss me now? No. God damn you, tease. See, like, to be fair, I can't really, like, the tragic end of, like, Cyan being like, I'm stuck in your head. You're stuck in mine, so it's only fair, you bastard. Alright, now we're down. Oh. A mother's answer is our despair end. Interesting. Huh. That was, oh God, okay, this is where, okay, so we were in the thing. Okay, I was wondering if Cyan was gonna die there with Boro, but now, okay, we're back here, and oh God, here we come. Oh, there goes Adolphe's head. Dear God. Alright. Here comes Bordo killing everybody. Well, killing the guys that were holding Salome. Okay. Now it's fucking with that other dude. Now we're all having tragic. Oh. Okay, Mom's having a breakdown. Okay, now we're gonna end up talking to her, because if it's a mother's answer, it probably has something to do with... Oh, there's a touching hug moment. Oh. Like, I want to end this part with him and these sad things with, like, the beautiful, like, showing a little bit of skin hip one, you know, that first CG you get of him, because it's beautiful, but then also the sad one at the end, because it's, like, you know, the tragic ending one, like, guys, I don't know. My brain just stopped because I was thinking of his CGs, and I totally was like, words, but I can't. I'm thinking of the CGs. I'm staring at him, thinking of him in the back of my, like, Jesus. All right, so, oh, wait. Okay. All right. No, so we're still plotting out all of our stuff. So I'm wondering if it'll be something, like, she'll say something when we go to leave the next morning. Oh. After speaking with everyone about the operation to take back the Institute, I went out alone in search of Mother, who hadn't returned since she left. Mother? Mother was standing in front of the makeshift grave where Adolphe slept. Ah, Spacey, you came to bring me back. She slowly turned around and looked at me with her usual loving smile. Yes, I was worried about you, so... I'm sorry to have worried you. I'm so very sorry. No, don't be sorry. We simply looked at each other in silence. Mother's past flashed through my mind. I was very hesitant to continue dissuading her from killing the royal family. But at the very least, I wanted her to approve of my going to the Institute instead of trying to avenge what happened. Mother, about the operation. You don't need to worry. Huh? I know exactly what you want to say to me. I was surprised. Are you sure? Yes, of course. Thank you very much. If so, then will you come with us to take back the Institute? As I gave my thanks, Mother moved forward and gently gave me a gentle hug, patting me on the back. Is she gonna stab me? It was as though the days I adored had returned. I felt like I could cry from the warmth and love I felt for Mother. I feel like this is about to go bad. We about to get stabbed by her mom. But only if my objective can be fulfilled. After her gracious hug, I felt a sharp heat on my back. Huh? My back is hot. It's like an iron pike hit me from behind. No, it wasn't my imagination. Mother stabbed me in the back with a knife. I mean, I did not. I mean, at the same time, we were like, she's going to stab me. I was like, I mean, I expected it because, like, it's a mother's answer and we're here and I'm like, she's going to stab me. But at the same time, like, I didn't actually, in the scheme of the entire game, ever expect her to stab me. Interesting. Blood poured down to my feet in a pool. Don't worry, Spacey. I won't leave you alone. She pulled the knife from my back. I only realized now the hard truth of what was happening as she continued to embrace me. Mother gently smiled with my blood on her fingers. Then I need you to go on ahead of me. I'm sure Cyan will be agitated to know that you were killed by a member of the royal family. What are you... What was she saying? No, I couldn't focus or think from the pain and bleeding. Wow. Is she crazy? I see what she's doing. I mean, obviously. She said it. That's right. You've been killed by a royal. I'll make sure the truth is known. I'm certain Cyan will now assist me in killing the royal family. So please go to heaven without me. I'm sure Adolphe is waiting, and I'll be sure to follow once everything is over. We'll live together in harmony as a family again. My consciousness finally faded. I hope there's like an after thing. I want to know what happens. I didn't know what happened afterward. My eyes and ears were no longer functional. Just as I was about to crumple to the ground like a puppet with its strings cut. Sorry, Cyan. I'm supposed to be your maid, his wife. In the end, I was unable to help you, and instead I could tell before I fell to darkness that my thoughts and feelings for him had gone to waste, just like my blood. Did we have the conversation with him about being his wife, like, before that? Okay, that was it? I really kind of wanted to do, like, a little thing, like, after we died, like, just a little thing of, like, yes, no, Cyan went crazy, and then they killed the royal family, and, like, what actually happened, like, you know what I mean? That's what I kind of want. I wanted to see a little thing like that. I cannot believe our fucking mom killed us, like, again! When we went out there, I'm like, she's so gonna stab us right when we're about to hug her, like. But, like, I wasn't really expecting the game. Like, I was expecting it in that moment, but not in the whole scheme of the game. Like, before that moment, before we got to this ending, I would have never, if you had been like, she's gonna stab you, I would have been like, what? No, she wouldn't do that. Even though she was gonna turn us over to Cyan, she never did, so she wouldn't, and then it's like, and then there she goes, okay, so. See, like, this one's gorgeous. Okay. But then, like, this one is beautiful and sad. And then we have our kiss one, but, like, oh, like, it's kind of hard. Although I love him eating a sandwich too. Then there's, like, him pinning me up against a wall. There's so many good ones. There's so many good ones. I actually, like, I kind of like the sandwich one. It's so ridiculous. Oh my god, he's so beautiful and all these. Okay, it is the tragic ending, so I feel like... Oh, there it is. So I do feel like we should have, like, the little sad tragic one. Because it's beautiful and it's sad, and I want to have the beautiful one, don't get me wrong. But the beautiful one should be saved for a Salvation ending, because you don't know what the CGs are going to be like in the Salvation ending. I'm sure they're going to be good. But just in case you're like, well, I mean, they're good, but they're not great. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're like, this one's so much better. You know? Or there's something slightly awkward about it. You know? And it's the tragic end, so I think we should have a tragically beautiful CG. Should we? Should we, guys? I don't know. We got some few minutes to decide. I don't know. It's so hard. This one or this one? This one or this one? You know what? You can see this one all everywhere because it's the first CG of his. This is like, this hits. This hurts. And you know what? All these ending hurts. Well, all these endings hurt. All these ending hurts. Put the S in the wrong spot there. Jesus. I think, obviously his tragic ending is tragic. I think out of the bad endings that we just did in this part, Mom stabbing us, I could have used more. I felt a little lackluster. Although, to be, again, like, you know, I wasn't expecting Salome to stab us, so bravo. Like, there you go. Like, hi, taking that out of left field. Okay. I wish we had seen, like, a little bit after, like, we died and there had been, like, a... You know, after Spacey died, Zion went crazy and murdered the royal family, and it was like a bloodbath, and then he took over, and like, just a little tidbit, just a little thing, you know what I mean? Just to kind of see what happened. I think that would have been fun. But I definitely feel like the worst one was him kicking us out. Not because we got beat to death with a brick. Because sure, whatever, I was expecting death, you know, in dead ends, obviously. But it's him being like, get out, whatever. And like, you kicked me out, you'll never love me, and you're totally indifferent to my existence now. Oh god, that's the worst. Anyway. Obviously, we will start Eve's route next, so for you, that will not be tomorrow, but the day after. You know the drill. For me, it's going to be a while, because I get to start our new game that is probably, at the moment, going up in tandem with this, but I have not started recording that yet. Because, you know, I was doing this first. So, yeah. So for me, it'll be like a couple of weeks, probably, because I don't know how long it's going to take to record the common round of that one. You know, and we'll see. Obviously, I might have to, depending on how far ahead I am. I'm pretty sure, are we in April or May? I don't even know where we are, but I won't let it get too far behind. You know what I mean? But I like to, you know how I like to do it, a route and then a route back and forth. But if the common route takes too long where I'm like, fuck, I'm only like a week or two ahead, then I'll go back and forth. But anyway, it'll be a while for me. So you'll know the drill. When we come back for Eve's route, I'm going to be like, fuck, what the hell? We were playing this game. We are going to be playing a light, fluffy, more fun game in tandem with this one now. So I'm going to come back and it's going to be like, we were having a great time and now we're back to trauma. But I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with this one, guys. Our man harem, our boys, our little found family, everything is so fun that even when we hit the trauma, it doesn't hurt me as much as I thought it was going to. Like, I was like, oh god, this is going to be just awful the whole way through. But they do a really great job at making the characters so likable and so fun, and like the little like banter between them so great and everything, and like, okay, we're going on adventures, and like it's gonna end bad and everyone's gonna die and shit, but like we have a great time getting there. I don't know, shit, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I love it, that's how I feel about it, but it feels weird to be like, oh my god, I love it. Like, the game's a little tragic, but it's great, it's a great ride, it's so much fun, because it sounds kind of demented and a little unhinged. You know, we're already unhinged. We expect this. You know what I mean? But, like, there's so much, like, there's so many parts in here that are happy and lively and uplifting, and, you know, that you, when you get to the tragedy, that you don't feel as weighed down by it. Like, they've done a great job balancing it. Anyway. But yeah, Eve's route next, and I'll see you, for you guys 2 days, for me a week or 2 or 6, who knows. But yeah, remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.